back from 20. Nick Honor in there driving unstoppable.
All right,
Nick Honor with the step back three, my
guys,
Atlanta.
we are officially live, I believe.
Dude, I just love watching this Nick Honor gameplay.
They're showing Nick Honor highlights, and I can't watch it because I've got two streams up trying to get this live up for everybody. Oh, here we go. It appears it's on YouTube. Oh, the first second is me hitting my vape. That's what I'm talking about right there. I'm trying to watch my language.
It's a hell of a run.
All right, copy link. Are we back? Is gameplay back on?
I'm back in.
No, I mean, has the game started back up
Yes.
again? Sorry, I can't watch.
Yes.
Okay, then let me add. No, it just looks like it's Truman swinging his tail.
He's doing the tail thing.
No, okay. Let me know when the score bug's back up. Guys, we're testing things out here, okay? There's this is what it's all about right here. Hop in the chat, everybody. Live reaction. Has the game restarted? Somebody tell me. Come on. I'm a lowly producer
Yes,
here.
it just came up.
All right, there we go. There we go. And the score bug is back. Producer Curdy kills it yet again. 74-52 Mizzou with the under. Coming out of the under 4 timeout.
75.
75-52. It just changed. Okay, come on.
Mike, wait. I need to see bring the score bug up. I gotta see
It's
if I'm
up.
synced
It's up. But the YouTube the live stream is on a bit of a delay. Unfortunately.
Cruz being God tier. I think we all called it for one. I know I called it. I'm gonna pause my live and wait till it catches up to the scorecard on our live stream.
On the stream. Okay. That's probably smart. And to all 4 concurrent viewers here, I recommend you do the same. Try to sync up with us. Okay.
I'm syncing.
But while
Sweet,
we
I think I
wait for
just
them,
hit the Cruz.
the last 10 minutes or so of this game, pretty good.
All I gotta say is, Cruz, your smoke too tough, your drip too clean, your girlfriend too hot. They'll kill you for this, Cruz.
My girlfriend has actually said that she is scared of him multiple times tonight, simply based on his appearance.
He's not scary
What
looking.
Mike said
He's
about
silly
was
looking.
the shorts, the headband, the hair, all of that. Those are the same qualities that she finds
He's locked in. Dude.
frightening. He's the only one that was really
You
fighting
can't
for rebounds.
underestimate having a crazy white guy on your team. Absolutely,
You've said it all
cannot.
year, and he
You
was the only
cannot
one that was
underestimate it.
fighting for rebounds when we could not buy a rebound earlier, which I'm sure we will talk about once this game goes final.
Dude, they're looking at this coach on the Minnesota bench, and he has Bond villain vibes.
Is it the Eastern European guy? Because that totally checks out.
Slick back gray hair, whispering
50
his
black
whispering
slick
his
back
plans.
hair wigs.
Dude, thank God their Minnesota's good transfer white player can't shoot free throws. I appreciate that one. So up 19. We'll take that for sure.
We were down by 5 in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And I texted you guys. I believe the quote was, "I hate them so much."
I can't believe you texted that. You hate the team that we cheer for?
But I also said,
Shake my head.
"Please win by 13 and make me regret saying that." And they said, No. That is not enough for us. We are not going to just come back and win by 13. They're up by 21 right now.
Dude,
with 3 minutes left.
they're beating the crap out of the projected metrics of the game.
This happened
That's
to
for sure.
VMI too. It's giving VMI vibes. Vibes.
This team is such a second half team so far this season. I just want them to do it for both halves. Is that too much to ask for?
Yes, I believe it is.
Also, is Luka Northweather the best player that will never score more than 8 points you could have on a team? Outside of getting bullied a few times in the post, dude has been producing.
Yeah,
And
he did
I
get
honestly
bullied a couple
wonder
times.
how many minutes he
Ordinary.
continues to get once Pearson, Boat are back in the lineup. If they ever get back in the lineup, who knows? Who actually knows ever with Gates and players and injuries? But yeah, the game opened at 7.5.
Yeah.
Riddle me that.
Well, we were losing by 5 in the second half, so I do not fault the line makers,
Ant.
the bookmakers, whatever you want to call them. I do not.
And this was
fault
a
them
game one. Ant having a bad game. And if we came into the season, we were like two players. We had two SEC all caliber players, Mark and Ant. And Mark's the only one who's like consistently done that game in game out. Outside of like the first game, the exhibition and like against what was the team we played? Howard. Mark's been good
Bison.
every game. The Bison. Mark's been good every game.
I'll be totally honest with you guys. This is our first time ever doing a live stream. I have no idea how to find the chat, so I hope you guys are out there. All right, I know
I'm looking at the chat right now.
You guys are commenting.
Shout out to Brody Cooper.
Yeah, former Poobah, Brody Cooper, forever a Poobah in our hearts.
Dude,
how do you find the chat?
You go to the. How are you this YouTube illiterate, Curtis?
I'm sorry.
You go over the YouTube bar and there's the chat icon that everything uses, and you click on that. But yeah, Brody, I agree. Stone's defense has been a lot better. I mean, all their defense has been a lot better. I just don't get why it is that when the game starts, they can't play defense for the first 10 minutes of the game. They just don't want to play They just don't want to play defense for 10 minutes. It's honestly mind blowing.
Is that what you think it is? Is it just the defense? Because we also only scored 30 points in the first half, or 32? Was it 30,
shout out to
32?
Mac. Shout out to Mac, single-handedly scoring for this team at the beginning of the game. It feels like there's someone who carries the team when no one wants to do anything for the first 10 minutes, and then the team settles in. But it's like once they figure out, man, if I cut, if we move consistently, all of a sudden we're scoring a lot more. But like they have to like learn that every game.
I don't think our offense was necessarily
Dude, Nick Randall getting the first offensive rebound of the game from Mizzou. What?
You're a sicko, an absolute sicko. He had a nice play in one of the games this weekend too.
Yeah, his first points ever was a reverse alley-oop dunk.
Yes, that was it. That was exactly what it was. Okay, I was like, why did I mention him?
But the point I wanted to make was the way this team was potentially going to have a really bad game was if exactly what happened. Northweather got fouls, Phillips got fouls, all of a sudden Randall has to go in instead of having Boat, instead of having Pierce, and they're okay. So that works out. Ian in the chat brings up a really good point. Is this offense better? Is the team better when Phillips is sitting? Because let me tell you, the offense took flight when it was Mark as the only non-shooter on the floor.
Julian, how do I ban someone from the chat? I'm not going to allow this slander.
No, but I mean, not wrong, honestly. The team has played better offensively when Phillips isn't on the floor. Against VMI, against Minnesota. When Mark is allowed to just be the creator, he drives, everyone else can space. If any double team comes, he finds either the cutter or he finds the shooter, and it looks really good.
We're learning how to learning how to play as an offense. Okay, it'll look. We got.
I'm just saying that was the concern from the start. We've started Porter, Phillips, and Mark every game, and our offense has started awful every game outside of SEMO, and then it ground to a halt. And Porter has just been a nothing burger so far, and once Cruz came in, who's a much more solid 3-point shooter, it's looked better. And then when Phillips sits, so Mark doesn't have to keep trying to feed Phillips to make it worth it, it looks better too. I just feel like, especially with Gabe's concepts and his desire to run NBA style concepts, it's just better when you only have one non-shooter on the floor. That's it.
Yeah, for now, but this is again this is against like weirdly small, like we've been playing small lineups, and that's why the first half was so infuriating tonight.
Well, also, why play if you're not going to get more rebounds than the opponent?
That's
why play big if you don't shut them down in the paint. Which, newsflash, Minnesota was hitting threes like crazy because once the second Porter's on a smaller guy, the defense gets real bad, real fast.
See the second Porter?
A second Porter has hit the floor.
Sir, a second Porter has just hit the floor.
But I mean, this is also why Pierce being in the game, I think, is also going to be massive for the offense. And Boat too. Boat can defend better than Porter. So I think once Boat and Pierce are back in, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't really see Porter very much, unless it's
3, 2, 1, win. All right, your Missouri Tigers are now 3-0.
The game's not overdue. Look at the box on the screen. We're still 13 seconds behind.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. It's not over for the viewers.
Am I the only one having this?
It's over for us. I was looking at the stream. Okay, it's a little bit delayed. I'm sorry. 3, 2, 1. Tigers win. I don't know.
Penn Terry, you're built big.
Oh, yeah.
That
dude is built big. I do have to say, on that note, now that the game is over, I can remove the score bug from the screen, and we do have some ad reads.
Randall had significantly more time than Porter tonight.
Is the box score posted yet? Or are you just going on the live one?
I will open up Twitter and go to Power Mizzou immediately to post a good box score.
But we've got just the ESPN one for now. Randall, you say?
And then I'm going to immediately tweet at Gabe to Venmo me.
Yes, please do.
Okay, so box score is posted by Power Mizzou. If you want to put that up on the OBS and block our screens for a second. Some stats that stand out. Let's look at minutes first. Porter, 11 minutes. 11. Randall, 6. So Porter did have more minutes than Randall, but Randall's minutes, oddly enough, felt more impactful.
That is not something I thought we would say.
Phillips with 13 minutes, and honestly, I didn't notice when he wasn't on the floor.
You got all right, yeah. Tonight, fine. Okay, Minnesota's not big.
Then why wasn't Phillips dominating?
Because our offense did not know what to do in general.
Our offense is better when Phillips isn't on the floor. You just agreed with me.
Every single player on the floor at one point was taller than every single player they had. Not that our 1 was bigger than their 5, but you know what I mean, for their matchup. And we were still getting out-rebounded. At one point, they had 9 offensive rebounds to 0.
Yeah, so if we're not going to out-rebound them...
They had 18 rebounds to 6 or something, or 16 to 8. Like, it's not Sean Phillips' fault.
Yes,
it's a mentality. It's an approach.
If we're not going to out-rebound them and out-defend them, being big, then I'd rather play small and be much better offensively. And honestly, the team rebounded better smaller.
I like that as an option.
Cruz was rebounding better.
I'm fine with
Okay, actually, listen to these. I want everyone to pause on these rebounding numbers. Are you ready?
I'm listening.
Rebounds. Barrett, 3. Mac, 0. Stone, 3. Randall, 1. Northweather, 1. Okay, actually, Luka, we're gonna give Luka Northweather his flowers. 1 rebound's disgusting. Robinson, 1 rebound. Porter, 0 rebounds. Phillips, most athletic guy on the floor, 1 rebound. Mitchell, 6. Cruz, 8. 8 rebounds for Cruz. And then also total rebounds, Minnesota 34, Mizzou 25. But that just says something, man. Like, I think everyone has to kind of now admit, if you've been a Cruz hater, you can't be a Cruz hater anymore.
Yeah,
the team looked fundamentally better when he was on the floor.
Yeah, if you're scared of his appearance, fine, okay, but his play, again, early, like in the first half when we couldn't get a board, he was the only one actually fighting for a board. And I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I don't know if that's an intentional thing of like, hey, everybody else runs out and Jacob tries to go for the rebound. I don't know, but that's the way it felt at times.
Put your butt in somebody, for God's sakes.
What was the quote we heard earlier from our good friend? Put your butt in a gut.
That was,
and then the second half, yeah.
Speaking of Mike, Curtis, stop yapping for a second. Mike, what's your thoughts? Wait, actually, Michael, before you start, I want to say Curtis said earlier today, he goes, I'm tired. I'm taking a nap. I'm not going to talk very much. And then you have
because I have to run the live stream. I have no choice here. I'm
yapping.
Feeling a little bit under the weather.
Let Michael talk.
The north weather.
I think Curtis just got a resurgence of energy. He got a Z-Pack. I mean, whatever.
Look at this.
Yeah, you can probably find anything in Florida. It's the state's biggest export is Medicare fraud, so he could find just about anything. Uh, but yeah, I mean,
Call
after
Curtis Rick Scott because he's stealing
yeah,
Medicare.
yeah, the guy made his whole political career off of that.
Scott,
But anyway, we
nice,
gotta
nice pull, guys.
digress. Yeah, I mean, it was a good second half. Obviously, when the Gophers go bury themselves in a hole and score 14 points the last 14 minutes of the game, not going to win many games like that. But offense really showed out. Defense stepped up. Gates has never had. I've been very vocal about this, and everyone can chime in. Mr. Egghead, you're a hater of Mr. Gates. No, he just has never had a team that defends offensive rebounds ever. So I just don't think that's his shtick.
I get that it's a shtick. I even defended it when we were doing our preview. It can't be that bad. Like, there has to be some level of respectability on their batting side.
I mean, the onus eventually falls on the players. Like, I think ultimately, but it is like there is a strategy, and in some regards, like a very rudimentary level of basketball is just controlling the boards. I think if this was against an average SEC opponent, I don't think you win by 20 plus. So I think you can get away with it with a team that's not.
What remind me? Do you know off the top of your head, Michael? What was Minnesota's kind of analytical prediction?
Like
for them?
Like the score itself, or just like the team?
No,
outlook?
the team Minnesota as a team.
The team outlook was like they were low 60s offense, low mid 60s on defense. Like they were just a very like. I mean, they showed like the way they played the first half. Like that's a prime example for like people who are in the analytics. Like they played way above their average, so they came out swinging, caught Mizzou off guard. But that basketball is a game of runs. Like what they were doing is not substantial. So when you go on that, you hit a 3-pointer. I forget which minute marker that Northweather hit a 3. Get the off ball foul, get the ball back, get an and 1. So you got a 6-point swing in the matter of seconds. Teams like Minnesota and teams that will not be playing in March, you will beat. To be frank, because of our offensive firepower, we were. None of the high end analytics stuff's going to be up right now, but come tomorrow, it'll be really interesting to see like the defense and offensive efficiency of just like the individual player, like take the team aside.
Dude, Pete, one of our viewers, PJ, I don't know if you heard of this guy before. PJ said Crocker Johnson, which sounds like he runs his own law firm, has 42 rebounds in 3 games. So there's a good chance that that Minnesota is just a really good rebounding team.
Yeah.
I get it. So why is a smaller team out rebounding a bigger team? And look,
it's an effort thing at the end of it. Like
that's a stone man's take of it.
Yeah.
But it's like
stick your tuchus in someone and drive them back.
Matt Harris tweeted like,
put your butt in a gut.
If you're going to start a big squad and see none of the benefits of starting a big squad, why start a big squad? This honest, like the Javon Porter thing feels like when Gates started Boat last year. And for 4 games, people are like, this guy isn't doing anything. And then he stopped starting him. I feel like the same thing's going to happen to Porter. It's just been extended because of injuries. But like, I don't know if Porter has a starting spot after this game. That was just not anywhere need to be. And I mean, they could hold on to it because we're going to play 4 blood donors in the next 4 games. But
yeah,
that was
the game looked.
That was Cruz like saying,
yeah,
I should start.
Yeah, the game looked fast for Porter at moments.
Sorry, I just pulled up the box score for us, guys.
Yeah, Eric bringing up a good point. Back when Mizzou under Haith was playing small, we played against those giant Baylor teams. We'd out rebound them because it was effort. That team put in the work. A lack of a junkyard dog. Yeah. Hypothetically, couldn't you call? It depends how you define junkyard dog. I would define someone who's a junkyard dog as someone who's willing to do the dirty work. Cruz right now is willing to do the dirty work. Cruz crashes, he cuts, he's getting rebounds, he's fighting for them. He's putting his body on the line. I'd say anyone else on this team who's a junkyard dog would either be Cruz or it would be T.O. T.O. should be having the and he did. He was able to get an offensive rebound. I mean, like a tip in, but dude, Ricardo Ratliff, South Korean basketball king, Ricardo Ratliff. Shout out to him.
Shout out to 757 Virginia Beach, Hampton, Virginia.
But yeah, I can't sing Cruz's praises enough in this game. I think if you're also to give someone a big medal for this game, Stone, once again had a great game. 3-point shooting wasn't there, but what Stone does more consistently and better than anyone else on this team is either cut or find the cutter. He's great at either cutting or finding the cutter. He's also he understands very well. I mean, he's 24. He should understand at this point, but he knows he knows where to be on the floor. A lot of times when Mark starts an action, you'll see him immediately cross into just the spot he should be. He's very proactive. So those two had a great day. Mark also being consistent has been really nice. A couple of the things I love seeing. The offensive sets they're running, I think, are really nice. I think the overload onto one side, allowing Mark to get a steal, and then the pass over him for that steal. Great offensive play. They ran it a couple times. You need to make sure the person passing can make that pass, but it's a nice one. Two, they'll try to do this high-low game with Phillips if he can get a steal, which has worked. I also like Mark and Jacob ran a couple pick and rolls together, which is a great pairing. Because if they try to double Mark at all, Cruz can rile that fast. If they stick, Mark can get Cruz's worst defender and then drive into him on that and force a double team somewhere else. But I think this game is a great example of Mark being a much better creator, passer off his drives, but also Mark doesn't get charges. It's actually how many drives he had where he got to his spot, made his basket, no charge. So all really good games.
We'll see when we get into SEC play.
Mm-hmm. Some things that are concerning. We already mentioned the rebounding. Ant. I'm concerned about Ant.
Are you?
I kind of. He's had one good half this season so far.
What was he? 3 for 6 tonight?
His box score is 10 points, 3 for 6, 2 of 3 from 3. So his 3-point shooting was good.
Yeah, and one of them was big. It was
2 of 5 from free throw.
Spot.
2 of 5 from free throw, where he missed the 2 off the flagrant. 1 rebound, 3 assists, 3 fouls, no turnovers, 26 minutes. I mean, outside of that 3-pointer, did you really feel him?
No, but it was a big 3, and I think we've got a lot of. I think we're trying to get a lot of guys a lot of minutes and try to figure out who can do what right now.
But him not having more minutes. Mark had 36 minutes. The reason Robinson didn't play more than 30 minutes because of his foul trouble.
Yeah.
You know who stayed out of foul trouble? Mark with 1 foul.
Yeah.
So it's like the same problem. It's like Mark and Ant each had their issues last year. Mark has so far shown this year that he's overcome some of those. Shooting's still always going to be an issue for him forever. But Ant, who is supposed to be this other alpha, has not looked that way. Just a fact.
Largely.
Now, that's not saying he can't be, but inconsistency was his issue last year. Inconsistency is continuing to be his issue.
Are you concerned about that moving forward? Like, is he still kind of a question mark?
Because who's handling the ball if he has to sit for a long period of time?
Well, Sebastian Mack, I thought, played well for stretches.
But Sebastian Mack's not a point guard.
I know. But I'm saying we had other guys, and I wanted to pivot this into your guy, T.O.
Yep.
He's your guy.
I claimed him at the start of the year. I said, this is my big dog.
Nonsense tonight. He didn't have a great game. I'm still a believer in T.O. for the record.
Let's read his stat line. T.O. Barrett, 8 points, 4 or 5 from field goal. No threes taken, no free throws. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 fouls, 1 turnover, 17 minutes. I think his handle needs to tighten up. And he wasn't able to drive the way I wanted him to drive today, for sure. His defense got a lot better at the end. I think that so far we haven't seen the level of jump that we saw from Ant his sophomore season. There's still a lot of season left, of course. Teams look radically different by the end of the season, of course. But I agree. And that's what's scary, is that if T.O. isn't actually ready to run the offense, I'm not saying he isn't. He totally can. But, what's funny is... he's not right now, but,
no.
What's funny is...
No, he dribbles the air out of the ball right now.
When I was gonna say when he went in against Florida last year, he was driving, finding people, kicking. Like when he had to do spot minutes last year, he was a much more effective driver than he is right now. So like, what's going on? Like it's actually kind of, and that's also another soft worry. How many guys can actually beat guys off the dribble on this team?
I think that one set when he had that turnover, loose ball, Luca was diving like that. I think maybe it was like one of those, or the foul on the Gophers. Like they couldn't get into anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looked like a like mismatched high school AAU game where a team couldn't even get, you know, close to the basket.
Yep.
Like not even they couldn't even penetrate the 3-point line.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's like a very very small sample size, but I think not having Ant out there, or I don't know if it's like a lack of a shooter where you get that dribble drive. You know, you got that safety blanket of, all right, well, at least someone's going to be shooting 38, 42% or, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's that. I also think, you know, teams are never as bad as they look now. Teams are never as good as they look, you know, right now. Like,
Mike, this is a live reaction. We're supposed to.
Give us the hot takes, buddy.
hot takes. He's if SEC was starting tomorrow, he would not be in my starting lineup, and he would not be handling the ball if he was getting minutes.
Well, so that's the issue. So
Yeah.
I mean, Stone or Mac are handling the ball,
Yeah.
and I think both are capable for small switches, but they're not something you want long-term point guard. But that goes to my original question: who can reliably break someone down off the dribble on this team?
As a guard?
Yeah.
I mean, even Mac struggled. I mean, maybe it was just that pairing of him and T.O. on that, you know, few sets up top. Wasn't just
Mac
T.O.
can drive, but
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say Sebastian Mack. Honestly,
it's Mac and it's Ant, but even Ant has struggled to. And here's the thing: I don't know if this is a thing where he's not supposed to go on like take people off the dribble as the point guard a lot, but it feels like a lot of Ant does is he'll sort of move into the lane and then swing it.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
motion offense. What he's running, you have to have someone cutting to that, at least penetrating with the ball in open space.
Mm-hmm.
But I would venture that. Yeah, I don't see.
when our
yeah, I don't
offense
know.
is working, that's kind of when it seems like it's going the best, though, right?
Yeah.
Is
Well,
when
like
we're
a-
getting that drive to a pass to a you know couple dribbles, pass again. Even that cruise three, when we were texting earlier, it was like, look, that was like, it wasn't necessarily like an open shot, but he had his feet set,
Yeah.
caught it in rhythm, and drained it. And it was a big shot. It was, I think it was right when we were like down by, I think we were down by 2 still in the 1st half.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for someone with their feet set to take a good shot.
Yeah, I think like the one note that I had that like stood out was after the media timeout was like it was like 11-10 to go in the first half. Can't remember who got that backdoor cut, but that set that Gage drew up is like
Was it Stone? No.
Al-
Gates has,
in the
Gates
first
has
half,
some
yeah.
nice sets off the.
no
Dude,
he
Phillips threaded a pass to Mark that was like insanely impressive pass.
yeah he gets I think Gage gets a lot of flack outside of like Mizzou fans for like his game management, like in-game management or adjustments, but like he can draw those plays up. I think it's just I think someone in the comments mentioned it, like they'll play around with their starting five, you know, come conference play, then you have to dial that into like maybe a 6 or 7 man rotation of who's starting and not do that at the end of the year. But
We kind of did the opposite, last year.
yeah, and that
Got
kind of
a little bit ugly.
the last 6-7 games kind of hit a skid. But even like I don't know, I guess like I don't know if at any point, maybe in the second half, it was like oh shoot, the Tigers could lose this game. But like even in the first half, like I don't think I ever thought that the Tigers were going to lose. But because it's just like when a team like Mizzou with that offensive like effectiveness comes to play like they did the last 14 minutes, they scored at will. And
But
it
we
just
were
got
we were down what? I think 17-8 was the biggest deficit that we had.
21-9 was the biggest, and that was
We were down 21-9. Okay.
and that was or no 21-12, 21-12.
21-12.
Okay, yeah. So that was the last 9-point deficit. Yeah, yeah.
Shout out Rush album maybe 21-12, something like that. 50th anniversary tour.
Let's go.
Yeah, shout out their tour. Not a
Here's what I will
sponsor.
say. I do a big question on this team was who's going to shoot threes. 3-point shooting was really good tonight.
Very good.
Mac hit 2. Our boy Mac, who has
In the
been
first
not
half, yeah.
hits 2. Stone 1 for 4. Northweather 2 for 2. Robinson 2 for 3. Porter missed 1. Mitchell missed 3. Cruz 4 of 6.
Take that all day.
When Cruz, I have to tell you, when Cruz threes hit, it is like the net doesn't move.
Okay,
Yeah,
so let me say this. Cruz, it seems like we want him taking threes, right? That's been
Yes.
the thing preseason,
Yeah, ideally.
during the season.
Yeah.
Mark Mitchell, never take another one
Yeah.
ever again.
I would actually be okay if he lives by this rule. If he has scored 3 baskets in the paint, he can shoot 1.
You get one. You get one.
If it misses, he's done. If he hits, you get 1 more. And he lives by every time you hit, you can take 1 more. But you're not allowed to take 1 until you've hit 3
I'm
baskets.
saying he should make 3 in a row. If you make 3 in a row, you can take a 3. Okay. Other than that, no. Someone, our good buddy Broderick over there, has been comparing him to Mitchell Smith in terms of like how flat their shot is. And I was wholly unprepared to reminisce about
Dude, I have to
Mitchell
say, Mitchell
Smith's
Smith-
3-point shot.
Mitchell Smith was the king of, you're like, I think he can hit 3s. And then every time he shot, I swear I never saw that man make a 3.
But no, it was the ultimate like no, and occasionally it would go in. And you're like, all right. But it was the flattest, ugliest shot I've ever seen in my life. And he's a fantastic basketball player, okay? Both of them are.
Also, hey. Mark, 6 of 8 from free throw. Take that every game, too.
He went to the line at one point in the
He's
second half.
eliminated his free throw.
I was worried. I made a comment. I was like, "Oh, Mark's going to the free throw line. He's gonna miss," and he made both, and they were. I think they were both nothing but net. So hopefully those issues are gone because he was, I believe, like 10 of 13 or something last game. After a horrid game against SEMO, he had a good game from the free throw line against VMI, and he had a good game from the free throw line tonight. I'm pumping the brakes on the Mark Mitchell free throw issues for now.
But, and last thing I have to say, and I'll let you guys go off on your last things. It's always good when you can run up the score. Gotta.
Big
when you get
fan.
the tournament, gotta run up the score. And
All
so
levels,
beating
all
this
levels.
team that we were supposed to beat by like 7 or 8, depending on the site, by 23, love to see it. Absolutely love to see it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, big fan. Unless you know the coach, run it up.
Unless you know the coach.
I've lived by that personally.
And depending on
Dude, his
on who that
Gates'
coach
brother's
is,
on that
maybe
coaching
run
staff.
more.
Yeah, he is.
Was it you? But their coach was from Colorado. That Colorado State team.
Colorado State,
Yeah.
I called it. I'm telling you, when the position opened up that we eventually hired Gates for, that coach was talked about. He was whispered as like a dark horse candidate because he's a really good coach. But
He is. He's
he's a really good coach.
no, I like him.
Not
And then
enough to
they went
not run
Gates.
up the score, but you know.
No. I mean, yeah, not enough.
But
Yeah,
in the end, guys, the Tigers are 3-0. And shall I read you out the extremely exciting next 4-game schedule? Monday,
lay it
Prairie
on me.
View. Thursday, South Dakota.
Woof.
Tuesday, November 25th, South Carolina State, which
Ugh.
is a state. November 28th, Cleveland State, which is not a state.
Yeah.
And then finally Notre Dame. So we're going to have a fun next
Does anyone
4
know
games.
where South Carolina State is? Name the city.
Would it be in Charlottesville?
I'm sorry, where?
Charlottesville?
South
Charleston?
Carolina?
Wait, sorry, Charleston. Is Charleston
Yeah.
a city? Charleston, South Carolina, I'm guessing?
No.
Is there a
It's-
Springfield, South Carolina?
There's a Springfield everywhere, Julian. No, it's in Orangeburg, South Carolina, actually.
Lovely.
Orangeburg.
Yeah, no one was going to get that question right, but
Did-
Charlottesburg was not a guess. that I was
Charlottesburg, my
anticipating here.
favorite town. Charlottesburg, South Carolina.
You were thinking Charleston. That's okay.
Does a week? We actually had this. So we had a question in the chat. Does a week non-con concern you guys? We had this chat.
Yes.
We've had
At
it
the
a few
beginning of
times.
the
Yeah, I
season.
hate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Viewership wise, we hate it. And also, I think what you see is the best teams purposely schedule really hard non-cons because it builds up your team. I think Gates' other view is you schedule a few hard games, but then you get a bunch of easy games because you're going to have a lot of transfers every year and you want to like have the team melt. Yet, half of our teams is feasting of injury, so what's the point?
Yeah.
But
And we also do play Illinois, Kansas, Notre Dame, Minnesota we just played, who is not like they're not a nothing, you know?
Also, it matters that SEC is a good conference,
Yes.
but here's a comparison. Here's Alabama's schedule. Ready?
Non-con,
Alabama,
Yeah.
North Dakota, number 13 St. John's, number 2 Purdue, number 14 Illinois, number 19 Gonzaga, UNLV, Clemson, number 5 Arizona, South Carolina, Kansas State, Yale, which isn't a nothing burger either, and then SEC play. So like Alabama going out there.
Yeah.
And I think it pays off for them. So like
It's also
it
playing
concerns me. I wish we played a harder
Easy to
schedule.
say when you're Alabama, though.
It's also just playing the game of like, does it when you have that schedule and you have the I can't even think of the right word right now, but like the weight behind your program. If you lose any of those games, it's not going to be held against you necessarily come March. Where I don't know if Mizzou rolled out next year and ran a gauntlet of even like high level mid major teams. I don't know if they. Interesting experiment. I may go down some
But
rabbit holes.
it allows you to
Would you
lose
want
those
Mizzou
games?
playing that same schedule, the same
But here's the
non-con
thing.
that Alabama
No.
plays, Julian?
It allows you to lose those games, but if you pick up the play in SEC, you will get the benefit of the doubt when it comes tournament time.
But would we be losing those games by 30 points right now? As
Maybe.
we're still figuring
No,
it out.
I don't. No,
I don't think
we
we'd lose
would.
like 30.
No.
But would the team learn more than beating up on fucking Prairie? I'm sorry for the cursing on the live. My bad.
Come
Than
on.
beating up
Jeez.
on South Carolina State? Like,
I don't know
Yes.
if you,
No. I agree. There's a middle ground.
I was the
There's a
first
middle
one who
ground.
cursed. I lost.
Yeah.
Here, can I
This
can I read you Arkansas's? Arkansas, number 21 Arkansas, a team that we hypothetically kind of compare ourselves to. Lost to Michigan State 69-66-17. Do you think that's going to be held against them?
No.
Then they're playing Central Arkansas, Samford, Winthrop, Jackson State. Then they play Duke, Louisville, Fresno State, Texas Tech, Queens, Houston,
not a bad mid major.
James Madison. So like Houston, Texas Tech, Louisville, Duke, Michigan
Queens.
State. That's crazy.
My concern is that like we were losing after 9 minutes to VMI. We were losing until the game against SEMO was not decided until the last minute of
It's
the
so-
game.
But like it was obvious, SEMO, they didn't care at all.
I think that.
Okay, that's a fair argument. That would we, if we were playing better competition,
Yes,
you think that
would-
accelerates our
Yeah,
Yes.
team building, whatever?
Yes.
I think only 7 or 8 guys are then playing meaningful minutes, and a trial by fire. You quickly find out who your 5 are. It forces you to.
How
I don't
bad do
think-
we think Minnesota is, though? Like that's.
I mean,
this is a
Minnesota's not gonna
fine
make-
game, and we
It's a-
covered the
it's a
spread
fine-
by double
Yes,
digits.
yes, but there were. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you were holding a Minnesota ticket, going in, 5 minutes into the second half, you're like, "Oh, this is going to go down." Okay, and then literally 30 seconds later, you went to not covering. It happened extremely fast.
It was that old 6-point possession we had.
Literally,
just,
yeah, that's what I said a
done,
couple
yeah.
minutes ago, and I think on the note of the schedule, if you follow college basketball as a 30,000-foot view of it, there's been a lot of
Don't fall.
lot of dog water games. Like you had 2 nights ago, I watched McNeese in the Biblical Studies College. McNeese beat them like 130-50. Like, and McNeese is not, they don't have their little hype man. Guy looks like, poor man's version of Shaka Smart. But what does McNeese get out of that? Like, aside from you being able to pat yourself on the back as a nonprofit funding another nonprofit, like,
and also it's like, I just hate the feeling that you're playing scared. Here's Ole Miss. You ready? Here's Ole Miss's non-con. SLU, Louisiana Monroe, Memphis, which they beat. School I've never heard of before. Austin P, Iowa,
what's
Miami,
the
Florida.
school?
I know.
It's CSUB. What school
I'm
is
sorry, repeat that.
that? CSUB. What school is that?
CSUB, California State University, Bakersfield.
Okay, you got it in one. Congratulations.
Was that correct?
That was correct.
Let's go.
The Roadrunners.
I knew that too.
Austin, PA, Iowa, Miami, Florida, St. John's, 13, Southern Miss, Alabama A&M, NC State, Alcorn State, and then SEC play. If they don't do well there, one, is that going to prepare them for SEC play? Yeah, there's some good teams in there. But, like, it also means you have to play a lot better in the SEC. Because that's another thing, too. If you play harder non-con, you actually win those. That gives you a lot more wiggle room.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
Mizzou last year, the thing that constantly happened was they played such a bad non-con that, like...
Yeah. Well, I think Mizzou, like, for the foreseeable future, and you can timestamp this, will go in between a 7 and a 10 if they make the tournament, pending a catastrophic, meltdown, and pending we're playing on, like, the 5% of the bell curve where we're going in as, like, a 3 or a 4.
Or missing the tournament. Yeah.
I don't think you would have to have a
That's the other
catastrophic.
5%, though, on the other.
Yeah, I would. As Brody says, I'd be fine getting rid of all bye games and just doing G5 teams.
Yeah.
And
it'd be interesting, like, to look into, like, the I don't even want to call them contracts, but, like, I was listening to another podcast, and Penn State played at that
like,
new
pay for
D1
play,
school.
though?
Well, not even
games,
they're not even doing a pay for play. Like, they played at that New Haven college, or New Haven University, that holds like 800 people, and it's like the 33rd largest gym in Connecticut. Like, there's 32 high schools that are bigger than a new D1
There are
school
pizzerias
facility.
in New Haven bigger than that.
Yeah, but where I'm going with it is Penn State made that deal with them that they will go there and play, throw them a bone once, but for the next 3 years, New Haven has to go to Penn State, and Penn State does not have to pay them. So in the long run, it makes Penn State look good. Like, all right,
But New Haven gets to be on a network.
Exactly.
It works out for everybody.
And it's recruiting, it's the transfers, it's
visibility. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, it is interesting. Like, I think I would agree more with Julian of, like, and we've talked about this ad nauseum in other episodes, that at some point you have to, like, all right, is the program there? Can we get away with playing, maybe like a bubbling mid-major team like SIUE Edwardsville, where we're going to beat them, but it's a tournament team that can, win the Mo Valley. Then do you go to the Ohio Valley and pick a team that's going to, win out of there? Like,
But you schedule these things years in advance. It's hard.
I know.
With the portal, it's hard to predict which Mo Valley team is going to be the contender.
No,
that's
for
why I'm
sure.
saying just play.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's fair. It's fair.
We're gonna repeat ourselves.
I want to.
1,000 times.
Yeah. My last just, like, question about, like, overall through 3 games now, like 3 official games plus the exhibition. But we are 3-0, and we've covered the spread twice. One was backdoor as anything. The other one we covered by double digits tonight. We covered the spread by double digits tonight.
I mean,
which did not look likely for most of the night. Covering the spread, 2 out of 3 games, 3-0. The SEMO game still has a sour taste in my mouth. How are we feeling? Just, like, overall thoughts. Is there anything huge? Like, just like Mike says, from 30,000 feet. Like, taking a step.
I don't think I'm changing anything I feel about this team overall, because I also feel like anything I feel about a player could change in 3 games if they just, like, turn it around. I think also without having Boat, Pierce, and Burns out on the floor. I'm not saying Burns is going to be an insane.
Julian, we're never going to see Burns. I'm sorry.
I can't give it up, man.
I'm sorry to tell you this.
I can't. No, he will play this season. He will play this season. I have to believe. But like, God, like that, especially Pierce, can completely change his team, and so Boat too, honestly. But, no, I don't think anything's really changed. I think the Minnesota win actually, yeah, that feels really good, but.
We played two really good second halves in a row.
Also, Brody, she gives you a shout out, Mike, for the easy cash.
Yes, shout out Brody. Yeah, we're probably looking at the next 4 games at least 25, 26 and a half.
Spread, yeah.
At least.
That's
Maybe even you may even touch like a 28 or 29. I would say my, if we're gonna give like a T reference here, like my kettle's like starting to simmer about this team. Like,
how much more compared to after VMI? Like, how much how much did your water start to simmer tonight?
I would say
how many bubbles?
I would say the first. Oh, what's that?
Cookman, baby.
Like 25. The first 25. 28 minutes of the game, the water was starting to cool off. When you leave, you're cooking pasta, you sit down for it, and you just leave the pot with the noodles and some of the water there, and it starts to get a little tepid, kind of like that. But what the offense showed, and I don't care if it's against a biblical studies college, a military institute, who it is, like, you cannot argue with the efficiency the last 14 minutes of that game. Like, if you just clip the 14 minutes, very, very, 1,000 foot view, we can go score for score, I think, with anybody when we hit the 3. These next 4 games don't mean anything to me, to be frank.
Yeah, we got a couple weeks.
We got a couple. This was the first, like, I've texted multiple other people and other groups betting, whatever wise, that this is their first like legitimate test to get a feel, and I'm optimistic. And anytime you look at, like, you didn't just like cover the spread, but like you
steamrolled it,
you smashed it.
Yeah, we should just never play a first half the rest of the season.
Okay. Yeah, no, that'd be sick.
I
mean,
keep going, Mike. I'm sorry.
Even at the lowest point, Mizzou still had like a 48 or 49% like win expectancy.
Even down by 9.
Yeah. So like that just shows like some of the efficiency that Minnesota was just, they were through the roof, but eventually Water's going to find, I'm on a Water kick tonight if you guys can't tell. Water's going to find its level. And it did. And
gotta say, our Julian, our guy Jalen Crocker Johnson, did have a heck of a first half. All right,
Jalen Crocker Johnson. That's the guy we call that. Yeah.
Dudes with sick names tend to show out. All right.
I think so. Someone asked me, "Are we going to see a second of Burns?" I think for the injuries, especially, if we don't see any of the injured players by Notre Dame, be concerned.
I think Pierce is absolutely going to play. I think there's no question about that. Pierce is going to play this year. The Burns thing, part of it is just because they're so coy, so quiet about everything.
Yeah.
I have my suspicions that he might.
It's a little suspicious.
I'm preparing myself for him not playing all year. And I'm not saying I think that's going to happen. I'm just saying I am mentally preparing myself already that we will not be seeing Burns this entire season. And I have no reason.
I'm tweeting at him. I'm gonna say people saying you won't show up.
People saying you won't show up. Also, to finish off our crappy non-con stuff, I was only able to find one notable alum from any of our upcoming schedule. Prairie View, Kirko Bangs.
Interesting. Well,
drank in my cup.
Yeah.
A late 2000s banger. For anybody who remembers Those of you that know Kirko Bangs know Kirko Bangs, though. All right, so that's the only notable alum that I was able to really find.
Nothing. Cleveland State. Nothing.
Cleveland State was a little bit. I believe the most notable Cleveland State alum that I could find was I think her name is Marcia Fudge. No relation to Cornelius, but she is a politician.
Oh yeah, that's right. She was the heir to the fudge fortune.
The fudge fortune. Yes,
trillions.
Marcia Fudge, Marcia Louise Fudge, an American attorney, retired politician, 18th United States Secretary of HUD.
Kurt Cobain.
Kirko Bangs. Come on, Julian. It was a play on Kurt Cobain.
I can't get off Burns here. I think.
Yes, keep going.
Yeah,
I had to say it.
If I at some point this season, if we get to see a block by him trailing the rest of the play and then hits it through at the top of the arc, I think I would die immediately.
I'll Venmo you $10 if we see that.
And then pass to heaven. Right?
We got to find a new
host. I can't take your vape
host.
money like that, Curtis.
We got to find a new host if Burns plays and does that. No, it'd be sick. It's just at the point where I'm like, it was like with Norfleet last year in football, obviously, where like I'm just not getting my hopes up. Once he's hurt, it kind of lingers and lingers and lingers, and all of a sudden he's out a month when it was supposed to be a week, and he was day to day, week to week. I don't know. I'm a pessimist also, so keep that in mind.
Okay. Well, I got nothing else to say.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna keep talking about Burns.
I'll be negative, and that should bode well for everybody else who is not me.
All right. Well, guys, I think successful first live stream. Shouts to us.
I think everything worked, at least.
Chat was lively. Mike got to speak a couple times.
Yeah.
Curtis didn't repeat something I said because he wasn't listening, and then repeated the same thing I just said. So I think so far so good.
Yeah, and I had to keep the chat. I did. Fair warning. I'm the guy who is running this whole stream. I never did find out how to view the chat. So. Shout out everyone in the chat, but I had no idea what was going on.
I know. That's why I was reading the chat out loud for you guys.
Thank you. Anyway, no, I really appreciate it.
Thank you everyone for watching, and join us next time we do this. Whee!